we'll go with that one, and I'll pull him up here because it was kind of like a overreaction, but I think it ties into it. As Kevin Patullo figured it out.
I don't think
From the city of brotherly love.
I don't think he's figured it out. I know that Sirianni's more involved in the offensive game plan, starting with the Chargers game, and it looked bad. But now it's, after the Raiders game, things are positive. But it was a more Greg Cosell, one of the best in the tape watching game, if not the best, deemed
Yep.
it the most NFL like scheme that they've had to date so far. It looked very pro-like. It was a very pro-like offense. There were clear out routes. It was a lot more on Jalen than had been previously. And while there were a lot of turnovers, I still like the fact that he was ripping the ball like he was. And I think that seam throw to AJ there at the end, the dagger in the game, in my opinion, I think that was that kind of throw we're looking for from him. Not just the deep ball down the sideline. While he was off on that, he seems to be a little bit better. But where are the throws across the middle? Where's the timing in the offense? Why does it seem so off, considering that these guys have been together for so long? And I think that we saw in an instance where we cannot overreact because it was the Raiders. But like you hinted at earlier, they did what they were supposed to do. And
Yep.
that's what matters. They did what they were supposed to do. This team was supposed to win this football game. They handled business. The backups got to go in for the fourth quarter. This is as good of a scenario for this game as we could have asked for.
Yeah, you know what? I'm on the other side of that. I think he's starting to figure it out. I've seen some stuff here that are kind of people are kind of picking apart. I mean, if you look at the numbers from this past game, what it was 8 and 9 in scoring possessions, 10 out of 13 on third downs. They were balanced. I think they ran Saquon a little bit too much, a little heavy, looking to break one. He was close, but I mean, he didn't play in the fourth quarter. He had over 20 something carries, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
but why give the guy the flowers when it was already put out that it was hinted at that he doesn't have as much say? All the thing is Sirianni's more involved in the game plan, and all of a sudden the offense changes and it becomes more complex. In my opinion, my flowers don't go to Patullo; it goes to the organization for figuring it out.
Hmm.
It's not just one guy. You can't give this guy the flowers, just because they had a good game against the Raiders. I mean, I think that
Well,
the
they
offense
improved against the
itself is
Chargers
evolving.
too, right? We
It
saw.
did. I mean, from a scheme standpoint, yes. I mean,
Yeah.
Hurts did not execute the game plan to the best degree, and they were still in it till the end. They did go to overtime and
Yep.
had a chance to win the game. So I'm not as sour on that game as I think most were. It sucked to watch. Don't get me wrong. As a fan, it was terrible. But as a logical thinker in this sport, it wasn't that bad. And when they come back and do what they're supposed to do against the Raiders, it gives me hope. I understand it was 15 passes. I understand it was, whatever. But he did what he was supposed to do and what he was given.
I mean, you keep. Yeah, it's kind of weird that sweet spot, right, for Hurts, 25 to 30 passes. That's kind of where you want to
Yeah,
be.
and then 40 against the Chargers. That overtime goes into that, so you got to take that
Yeah.
into account. But that we've talked about this over the years. That's too much. That's not the way this team is built. And it's not to say that the guy can't throw 40 passes a game. It's just the fact that the way the offensive line is built to run, you have Saquon Barkley, and you are built to run and take deep shots. That's what this team is. And when you go against the grain like that, good things don't happen. So,
Yeah, I'm
it's
wondering if I can take the way what you're saying though. I don't know, man. I think I think he's gotten so much scrutiny right in the beginning, and I
that just
understand.
comes with the nature of the job, though. I mean,
Yeah,
I think that the
and you talk about
scrutiny,
remember you talked about the art of play calling, right? Like, is he
the art
getting
of
in the
play calling is
groove?
a thing that Patullo will never have like Kellen Moore, though. He's never going to be that guy. You either have it or you don't. He's not developing the ability to call plays better. Is he getting better on the job? Of course he is. I would hope so. Otherwise,
Right.
they probably would have switched off of him by now, just like they did Desai in 2023. But he's doing enough to retain the job. He's also like Sirianni's best friend. So I don't think we're going to see from the media standpoint if he's failing or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just think that they're doing a good job because, in my opinion, to make a coordinator change, unless you're handing off the play the play sheet, I think that's silly. Like
Mhm.
Andy Reid used to give off play calling all the time, to finish a game or whatever it was, and it was never a big deal. It was just he just did it. So just change some things internally. Don't make it a whole fiasco and keep it pushing. I think right now, maybe they're taking a more whole approach as a staff to kind of take a hold of the offense and just letting Vic do what he does, which I think they should be doing regardless. I mean, Sirianni doesn't need to worry about what's going on Vic's side of the ball because they've got it handled.
For sure.
So get involved in the offense, come together as a group, and try to not necessarily recreate what happened last year, but use the things that have worked over the years and adapt and move forward to what is being put in front of you from the defense.
Yeah, I'm still on the side of giving him at least a little bit, right? Because I think that the offense has taken a little bit of a turn. They're getting a little bit more creative, a little bit more motion. When's the
I mean,
last time we seen that?
they were doing the shovel passes to begin the year, man. It wasn't like any of this stuff wasn't in the
Ah,
playbooks. They've done this
but
stuff
it's the
since
timing of the call.
2021, man. They've done the same plays. It's the
I'm not saying
same.
they haven't, but it's to me, like, I think it's going to your, like you said, the art of play calling. It's the timing of the call. Like, it's the right
Of
call at the
course,
right
of
time.
course. And he can
That's
get
what I'm
better at
seeing
game
better
flow.
right now.
His game flow, in my opinion, is improving.
Right.
He's not so stuck to whatever was written down for the week. He seems to be free balling a little bit better. You know what I mean? He seems
Yeah.
to just kind of be just going with the game. But who's to say that someone on that staff is not telling him, yeah, call this. Yeah, call that.
Yeah. I mean, you could
All
be
right, call this. All
right.
right, call that.
You
I mean, who's
absolutely
to
could be
say?
right.
We don't know that. And I just think that the job, especially in this city, because we're not turning over the head coach and we're not turning over the quarterback, we're not turning over the DC, all eyes point to the offensive coordinator. And he's just getting he's got a target on his back, man. It is what it is. And I think that going into this offseason, if they lose in the first round or whatever it may be, all of a
Oh wow.
sudden all darts are back to the guy. So I just, I
Yeah.
can't. I mean, even if the defense has a bad game, we don't yell at Vic. We're not mad at Vic. No one's mad at Vic. Vic's good. Vic's immune right now.
Yeah.
He's like
Vic,
Jim
yeah.
Schwartz.
Vic's,
He's
yeah.
good. He's good.
He won a Super Bowl.
Jim Johnson. He's good. He's good forever. He's old. He's good. He's
Yeah.
just,
Oh, for
we're
sure.
good on him. But
Absolutely.
we crave this McVay to appear in our staff, and it's not going to happen. Not when you consistently win like this. The Rams were not good when they got him. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they
Right.
had to
Right.
be bad to get that guy. Our guy, in all that sense, is Sirianni, and I think that as much gets thrown at him as he's not this play caller, he's not an offensive mind, he's not a defensive mind, he's just a team morale guy, blah, blah, blah. The report was, whether it was put out by the team or whatever, that the guy got more involved in the process. And all of a sudden, the process looks a little bit more.
It looks more fluid to me.
It looks more like an NFL offense should.
Yeah.
It
No, I
doesn't
agree.
look like a high school offense.